I guess maybe you can say it wouldn't be too far as long as you keep it between like something that's still okay for like a brother and sister to do. I'm not saying that like what you like if you have a sister, I'm not saying treat every woman like or treat the homie women like you would treat your sister, because you know maybe you and your sister are very like, you know, like play fight a lot and everything or whatever the heck it might be, which if your homies are down for that, then they're down for that. But I mean like everything that's like okay to do with a brother or a sister, you know, like brother and sisters can like, you know, they can truly love each other. They can, I don't know, fucking cuddle. They can like give each other like real advice. I don't know. They can trust each other with, they can confide information in each other. Well, no, because I'm literally okay. Why is that Alabama territory? What, do you fuck your sister? What? Why is that Alabama territory?
Fireboy's gone. Four down.
Dominating.
See ya, buddy.
10 kills remaining.
Oh, that's fine. Dude, girls have been allowed to like say that to each other literally forever. Bro, so you're allowed to say that to your dude friend as supportively. Like, just because you said that doesn't mean like you necessarily want to fuck him. It's like you recognize that there's qualities about him that you're like complimenting him on. Okay, what, like, guys, for me, oh god, okay, so for me, the way I see this, right, we're not in the 3rd grade, bro. If you tell someone that they're pretty, hot, beautiful, or that they got it going on, whatever wording you want, that they're bad, that they're fucking whatever you want, whatever wording you want there, we're not in the 3rd grade, bro. You're allowed to say, like, you should be allowed to say that to people without it being assumed that you immediately want something romantic or intimate with them. We're not in the 3rd grade, guys. We can say things. We're allowed to say things, you know? We're allowed to fucking say things as long as the other person's comfortable. Like, hello. Of course, now if you're commenting about your friend's ass and over again, and he doesn't want you commenting about his ass, because, I mean, not everyone wants to comment about their ass, then you gotta respect that, but... No, wait. I may or may not have told his girlfriend that he deserves me instead of her, and that he loves me more than he ever loves her. No, that's normal. That's completely normal for guys to do. Like when the homie's girlfriend is like also kind of a homie, like she's also kind of like she cool. That's normal. I think that's completely normal. We used to do that to Goofy's girlfriend. Fucking Agus and Goofy have known each other forever, right? They've been like brothers pretty much since forever, kind of thing. They've been best friends. To my understanding, since practically they've known each other, which is like, I think at this point I think they hit the decade. Them, like those two, I think have hit over a decade at this point. And yeah, just fucking we would fuck, because like the girl he was dating was like really chill. Like she was like one of the, like, she was a popular girl, but like she was like chill with everyone, kind of popular. So like I specifically used to fuck with her a lot and be like, you know, he's really in love with me, right? And she would get mad. It was amazing. Me and Pikachu, what we would say to her more often than not is that we would just complain that she would just take too much of his time. So we'd constantly be like, bro, come on, you gotta let him play with the boys though. My sister literally hissed at the new boyfriend of her best friend. He's scared of her. Dude, I don't know what your sister's angle there is though, but I don't know. I think there's a fine line between, like, if he's genuinely scared, like if he's scared of her more as a joke or whatever, I guess that's fine. I feel like you really got to play the line between fucking joking around and like being kind of toxic. Salut, Monsieur Social. Hello, Quaker Oats, and hello, Slav Cabbage. I don't think I said you. I noticed your message. I just didn't say your name right away. Yeah, what's up? What's up, boys? You're so fucking hype. What happened? What happened? What'd I miss? To be frank, all my friends are Pookies. What is Pookies in that context? In that specific context, what does Pookie mean? All my friends are Pookies. As in, okay, when you say cute girlfriend, but they're guys. As in, they would make a cute girlfriend, or they that was such. It's not just me, right? That sentence is weird, right, guys? Please tell me that it's not just me. That fucking cute girlfriend, but they're guys. As in, I treat my friends like they're my cute girlfriends. Oh. Okay. I just don't know what like that entails exactly. Like I can assume a few things, but I don't know if that would be the case. Like what, you're very like affectionate towards them? I mean, I think that's perfectly fine. Especially if you are like, you know, 100% certain straight and they are too. Listen, I made this complaint earlier. Like I made this complaint before to Dramana, because like Dramana kind of knows like the story sort of. But as someone who myself, I am like an affectionate person and I love complimenting people. Like it is very, very like, I don't know what the words are. It hurts kind of when people kind of like assume malintent from me just because I'm like that. Like they either assume I want something or that I'm into them or whatever, and I'm just like, bruh, I just want to say that you're really, really fucking cool and beautiful. What's wrong with that? Why can't I do that without more things being assumed? It's the way I am. I'm someone who, I mean, I struggle with being complimented. Not in like a negative, like it does damage to me if you compliment me, but more in like it's a slightly overwhelming in a positive way. Like it feel nice. It still feel nice and everything. Just a little overwhelming. And stuff. Which is to say, like, again, at the end of the day, I treat people the way I want to be treated, I guess. Because I don't want to be weird. Yeah, I find
10 kills remaining.
Yeah, I find myself very like having to like really just only say it to people I can trust, or in like extreme moderation. Like genuinely like we'll have to think about
target down.
About like, okay, how long has it been since I last complimented this person and what did I say? Like, I think in a way, I think it's made me better at complimenting people, because like I think I've gotten better. Maybe not like all the time they'll always understand, but like I think I've just gotten better at making my compliments sound more genuine, because they're like, you know, real, I guess. Like I you know, point out things that I truly appreciate about them or whatever. I don't know whether that's like, oh, I love like the energy you bring whenever like I have a conversation with you, or like I see you conversing with other people kind of thing, or like to say like it's one thing to just say, oh, you look like you look great, to also say like, oh my gosh, like I love your style, like, you know, like bring up specific things like I love your style, or like you have great skin. If you take like, if you have like, tell me the skincare routine kind of thing, right? Which I think like if you phrase it that way, it's much more genuine. And I feel like a lot of people, I don't know. Hey, it's weird. It's actually kind of weird.
That was good. Next time, I'll do better.
To be able to compliment people but not be awkward about it. No, there's plenty. They're like I complain about it, but at the same time, there are plenty of people who like are very receptive to my compliments and stuff. So yeah, now I get it. It's just that they're one of the few people I wanted to speak with in my class, so I'm really hyped, and their center of interest hasn't moved too much, so talking to them is smooth sailing. Nice. The best thing to do is compliment something people don't usually get compliments for. Yeah, that's definitely a good, like, both. Yeah, complimenting something, yeah, like you said, complimenting something that you know that person doesn't necessarily get complimented for often, or going into a more specific detail
Match
about,
found.
you know, so like if you see a hot person, just example, just a random ass hot person, you can bet a lot of people throughout their lives have told them you're hot, you know, like, or whatever. But if you go to them and say like, if you are able to like go into more detail instead of just calling them hot and be like, hey man, like I really appreciate, like, you have like both your like outfits and like your style and everything, you have a very rock star vibe about you that I really appreciate, or something like along those lines, right? Or like, I like the way you carry yourself, kind of thing. Like whenever I see you, you have such like a cool posture or whatever. Ah! I like how you have legs. What the fuck? What do you mean? No. Ah, merde. Yeah, so the compliment means less even if they do appreciate the compliment. It's like they've heard it for the 50th time. It loses their meaning whether you like it or not. I mean, I think it also kind of depends on what that compliment is, you know? Like if that person really loves their hair and they get compliments all the time saying that their hair is great or whatever, even if it's not super specific, then I think the person will still appreciate it. But specifically something like you're hot, I feel like, you know, that one specifically, it sounds kind of crazy, like me as someone who doesn't get complimented too often when it comes to like looks, right? And especially not in like if I am complimented for my looks, it's in a very like you're handsome or cute kind of way. Like no one ever fucking refers to me as like hot or like sexy. I just never, like I don't, right? But so even though like for me that's really odd, I can still understand, like I can understand the logic of why, especially like let's say as a girl, maybe especially I think more like a really hot girl compared to like a really hot guy. I think I can find the logic and understand of like why it would hurt to always like the compliments always are like you're hot or whatever, you're sexy, because those words can sometimes, of course they're meant well, but those words can feel like you're being reduced to like, oh, you like my body, or like you find me like attractive, like you kind of like want to bone me or whatever the heck. And that's not necessarily like, it's not, it is a compliment. I don't think you can actually argue that it's not a compliment, but it's not like a wholesome one. It's not like a complete one. It's not an emotional one. You know what I mean? So I can understand like the feeling. No, you cannot request a ceiling check. I need to get my certificate, my diploma in seal review. Ceiling review. Jesus, seal review? We're gonna review seals, boys, like the aquatic creatures. We're gonna review them. I wanted to untap. Seal Team 6 review. At one point I got complimented on my voice. Genuinely, it caught me off so off guard that the one time. It happened many times since, but I never quite felt as much as a genuine compliment. Makes sense. Like you'll always remember your first, I guess. There is no ceiling. If we so rich, why we ain't got no roof? I don't think you guys heard the Windows sound. I just got like the Windows doo-doo-doo thing. I feel like it's always this guy is getting complimented out of the blues unexpected. Of course, I mean, I think like the regulars have heard me speak very different, very like multiple varying oh my god, multiple varieties of this like whole idea. of just in society, men aren't considered the beautiful ones, like, at all, right? Like, even the hottest, like, even like the male ideals, we're still like, even like when you get the male ideal or whatever, it's still not considered the hottest, right? Like, every image of beauty will always be like a woman, no matter what, which is fair. even as a pan person, I mean, let's be honest here, they are more attractive, but yeah, it's like, not like, if you look at like words in like the English language as well, or not just English language, but like a lot of like, in most like the languages I speak, right? If you look at the words for beauty, like the different words that you can use to describe beauty, you have cute, adorable, pretty, elegant, beautiful, remind me of more, fine, a lot more. But if you think about it, all of those words lean more towards women than they have a more feminine quality about those words. You can, like, we consider flowers to be feminine, and we would use all those words I just used. All those words I just used would be used to describe a flower, right? Because what the things we consider female qualities are considered more beautiful, not just in women, but in life, right? Something being fine, something being, you know, elegant or whatever, like, we consider that beautiful, even if it's not in a person. Like, if it's an art, like an art piece, a dance or whatever, it's more considered beautiful, and those things tend to lean towards being more feminine than masculine, right?
One less. Too slow.
I think I headshot that fucker through the wall by accident. Hello, Mal.
10 kills remaining.
When you can count the amount of compliments you've gotten. Athena, I didn't say that hot guys don't exist. That you that has nothing to do with what I said, but okay. So yeah. So I always, like, I think about that a lot, right? And so because of that, it just makes a more natural sense. Like, it makes a more instinctive, I should say, not natural. It makes a more instinctive sense for people to compliment women, and especially for their physical appearance, right? Because of, like, just this assumption that, like, women are the beautiful ones. Those are the ones that, you know. Also, like, because of, like, marketing and everything, like, when it comes to, like, beauty products and everything, we also just kind of assume that women are the ones that care more about their looks compared to men. So again, that's another thing that leads to, like, why some people just instinctively just feel more like they want to, like, compliment a woman and not a guy, right? On average, girls are hotter. Well, okay, we're gonna get into semantics here, but for me, hot, I actually have to me, there's like a better definition of each, like, word. Like, they're all components of beauty, but they're not, like, the same thing, right? Like, someone being pretty is not the same as someone being hot. They can be both, right? Just because you're one doesn't mean you're not the other. I also hi Kyo. But the point is, like pretty to me is, like, the face is more pretty, and it's more of like a flowery type of way of saying it. Hotter is more of like a overall attractiveness, like you find them attractive, like more attractive or whatever. And then sexy is definitely, like, pure fuck. You know what I mean? Sexy is definitely pure fuck. Cute is, you know, small, quaint, adorable. Pretty is more fine or whatever. Elegant is even more refined, you know, more classy and everything. And then beautiful, like, being beautiful is truly, like, an encapsulation of, like, a lot of different things that just make you amazing, right? That's my whole way of seeing it. So in general, my whole thing is, like, I guess you can sort of see it as, like, I'm trying to say, on average, men are hotter than women. Sorry, women are more beautiful than men. I mean, I would agree with that statement. It wasn't exactly what I was trying to say. I do agree with that. But it's just, yeah, everything always comes back to like beauty being a feminine thing. So yeah, we should just invent more words. I want more than just handsome to describe a man. Yeah, like really, you can only describe a man as handsome, hot, sexy. So who's really being objectified now? Whole spice chart for words. No, I've held that view of like those words for a long time, even in Spanish, like with guapa would be my best translation for like hot. And you can, it's not normal though. It's not normal at all. Athena, do you do that to like people in your life? I'm sure you do for your K-pop, the people you K-pop stand, but do you do that in your actual like active life? And do you observe other people actually doing that? Because I don't. Like if you see people doing that actively in their daily lives, then that's amazing. Like I genuinely, that's good. Like I'm really happy for that people do that. But it's not a norm, at least over here. It's very much not a norm. A smoldering baddie for you guys, or for guys. What do you mean? Like a version of that for guys? A hunky, wait, no. A rocky hunk. I don't fucking know. I was gonna say, like, also when people say pretty on a guy, they normally tend to be a really effeminate kind of guy. Which, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like, but that's why I think like Slav has a point. I think it was Slav that said it. I think that's why Slav makes a point that there's more words necessary, right? Because yes, there are pretty men, but first of all, being a pretty guy, at least for the longest time, traditionally speaking, for the longest time, it can change, and it probably is changing. But like for the longest time, being a pretty guy wasn't like what a man wanted to be, right? It's not what like a guy actually wanted to be known as. And definitely I've heard men being called pretty as not necessarily an insult, but it definitely like there was a negative amount of context when they said it. Right?
Your games been
like
love to hear it.
You got this. I trust.
For example,
maybe I'm on my D rank.
For example, like a guy getting rejected because he's too pretty, right? Like it's very little that I've ever heard the opposite. I only ever hear, like, to be honest, I only ever hear Jesus Christ. Shut the fuck up, I'm talking. To be honest, I mean, an insult is pretty boy, so I think that explains how it's received. That's exactly the point I was getting to. Pretty boy is like considered an insult a lot of the like in a lot of contexts, right? Not always, because I know it can be a genuine compliment, but a lot of people might take it as an insult because it's not like, again, it's because. Okay, like I said, I'm trying to say, but I'm also trying to keep up with chat and these fuckers were talking. What I was trying to say was that I only ever hear pretty, like, men being called pretty as a genuine compliment if it's a celebrity. Like again, I'll use K-pop people as an example.
Only if we survive.
Like when they're like, oh my god, so pretty and everything, and they mean it, and I'm like, okay, you can tell that they mean it. But like throughout my life, right, being called pretty was never a good thing in my life, right? It's always been considered like a negative and everything, and it's like it was used to take away my masculinity, right, or whatever, right? Which is why I think there's like, if a guy is happy being like pretty and everything like that, that's great. And that if they like being called pretty, that's good. Like that's a good thing. I'm not trying to say anything like else. That is obviously a great thing. But I think Slav has all the point in the world to say that we should think of other words I think like Slav makes all the point in the world of saying we should think of other words to describe men in a beautiful way, but take into account the masculine parts of, you know, like
Sometimes you just need
like appreciating masculinity with those words. Does that make sense? Like, I asked Angelica, Pikachu's girlfriend, why, this is a while ago that I asked, but I was like, so what like captivates you about like this homie, right? Like what captivates you like
break it.
about the dude? And she mentions it's that she sees him as very boyish, like very like masculine, and like, you know, like he's tall, built, like relatively like you know, not skinny but also not overly bulky or anything. Like he hits that like happy spot for her of being perfectly like a guy. Like she likes how much of a guy he is, you know. She and everything like that. But it was I like, now thinking about it, it's incredible to consider how much she had to explain this in a very literal and very descriptive, overly wordy way. Like she couldn't just say a word to say I just like, she couldn't say a masculine equivalent of pretty. Like he's, I can't fucking invent a word out of the thin air. But she couldn't just say a word. Like she had to explain it as like, oh, he has that right body type because it's like this and this. And like she had to explain it with so much detail to say it. Right? And that's kind of my point. There is no way to appreciate masculinity. Like the language, like our languages, at least again, the ones I speak, I feel like fail pretty heavily at like describing, you know, complimenting masculinity.
Censored down.
My ultimate's ready.
Because you've heard people like, I don't know, I've heard people like compliment guys by saying, oh, he's very savage looking or whatever, which I can understand the part of that that's a compliment, but also really savage, like that's the best word we got. Like there isn't like a version of that word that we can use to describe something that we like a positive, you know, something that's close to savage, but like, or like I don't know, when describing like male appearances that, you know, people can be described as like,
One enemy remaining.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Last player standing.
People can be described as oh my gosh, greasy, what is it? I actually kind of forget, like the greasy hunk kind of thing. They were talking about Henry, like I heard this when they were talking about Henry Cavill in The Witcher. They mentioned him like having this like greasy hotness or something like that, right? And it was a very confusing thing for some of the people in that Twitch chat, because it was a Twitch chat that I heard this on. A lot of the people in Twitch chat were confused because they took it a little literally, thinking, oh, like greasy, like you like the greasy look. And then the person who said it was like, no, it's not exactly that he's actually dirty, but it's like, again, so much explanation needed because there just aren't words for it. And so this is why I believe, like, again, this is why I'm so dead set on the idea that our language does fail. Like it's not just like a
Time to hunt.